this message has just been so loud over the past few days. And what I keep hearing is there is no wrong path. There is no wrong path. So maybe you are at a crossroads. Maybe you're feeling stuck. Maybe you're kind of like in that loop of telling yourself, like, I don't know what to do. I don't have clarity. I need clarity, right? Like we start creating these stories, and then we keep having these thoughts about these stories that we have completely made up. And then we start believing those stories that are completely made up so strongly that we don't move forward. And it's just not true. And really, you have the power to snap out of it like that. That is how quickly things are shifting for you right now. And maybe you're feeling the energy of that. Maybe you're feeling the energy of, oh my gosh, I am like on like the precipice, like I'm like at the brink of just something new kind of coming into my life, or things shifting, or whatever that may be. I'm feeling that sense very strongly. And again, that seems to be kind of a collective feeling right now. So trust that, because with this, there is no wrong path. What I really feel called and want to share, the message that's coming through, is really that what we have put the emphasis on, right? So you have a goal, maybe you have something that you want to do, you have something that you want to experience, something that you're trying to manifest, you have a desire, right? Like it's just so simple. And what I'm hearing is it has nothing to do with the goal. It has nothing to do with what you think it has to do with. So often we get hung up on this idea of which direction should I take? How should I move forward? And we're looking outside of ourselves. But right now, you are being called. You are being invited. You are being nudged to remember who you are, to remember exactly what you're capable of, to remember that you chose this life and you chose this beautiful unfolding, things shifting and happening in the exact right timing, exactly the way that they are meant to. And I know sometimes it doesn't feel that way. And that's why I want to get on, because it's okay that you don't feel that way. But part of remembering is surrendering to a deeper level of trust. And that is your own self-trust. It's part of waking up to what you're capable of in this lifetime. It's part of aligning yourself to your highest path forward. And you can't get it wrong, because it's a constant unfolding. It's a constant, I'm going down, like we get this desire and we're like, okay, I'm going to proceed. I'm going to take the steps to go after this desire. And it could be something huge, right? It could be a career, a promotion, a job, going back to school, buying a new house, starting a business, right? It could be a myriad of things. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that along your pursuit of that goal, you will face challenges. You will face and come across new levels of awareness and insight. And all of those things combined, all of your experiences that you are having in pursuit of whatever it is you're wanting, right? Whatever it is, kind of like your soul is nudging you towards. In your pursuit of that, you come closer to your own truth. You come closer to your own alignment. You come closer to remembering who you are and what you are capable of and what ultimately your soul wants to experience in this lifetime. And you can't get that wrong. That is what I'm hearing right now. You can't get it wrong, because even if you start down one path, right? Like, so many of you are like waiting for the sign. And I could honestly show up and tell you that I had a vision so loud and clear, right? Crystal clear, that this is what you are meant to do. And it's something that you're like really torn between and really juggling. And, you know, I told you that I saw it in my crystal ball and it is just 100% certain. You still would struggle with that decision. So it has absolutely nothing to do with needing clarity. And it has everything to do with simply taking the action, simply taking the step, simply deciding on the path. Because the decision that you make to do or act, whatever it is, the decision creates the shift. Okay? I was stitching, sorry about that. The decision creates the shift. Okay? So think about that for a moment, right? Think about maybe there's, let's just like keep it super simple, and there's like kind of two things. You're at a crossroads and you're trying to figure out which way to go, and you've kind of been in this limbo mode and wanting clarity and needing clarity, even though, you know, deep down you do know, but you're still like not willing to fully admit that yet. And that's totally fine, right? Because it's kind of hard to get there sometimes, okay? And we don't need to judge ourselves for that. But what if you just say, I'm going to decide on option B, right? The second you decide, there's clarity. There's clarity that either, oh no, that's actually really not what I want. I want A, but I've been denying myself that, right? Or you're like, okay, I'm just going to go with option B and I'm going to trust, right? There's also this like great amount of surrender. And that's part of our connection. That's part of remembering who we are, is that we are co-creating, right? We're not here doing it all by ourselves. We don't have to, right? We have all of this support, right? So you're going along on option B and you're picking up nuggets and you're picking up wisdom and you're picking up new levels of awareness. Maybe things are hard, but it's like teaching you something new about yourself, something that you needed to have revealed or uncovered, or, you know, a new level of strength that you needed, that you're not going to need it for like 5 steps from now. You don't even know you need it. But now, you know, when those 5 steps from now get here, you're going to be like, that's exactly why I needed to go through this. And then maybe, you know, again, now you're 5 steps in the future, and then you're realizing, oh, this option isn't actually what I wanted. But if I hadn't taken this option, I wouldn't have learned these lessons that now are really putting me on a path that feels so freaking aligned, right? That is the energy of this moment. It is alignment for your highest path forward. It is alignment for a connection and resonance and frequency that allows you to call in things that you didn't even realize were possible for you, right? Like your most joyful self, your most at peace self, your most alive self, your most radiant self, your most whatever that is, whatever you're like really deeply longing for. But you gotta kind of let go of the goal and embrace that surrender, embrace that it has nothing to do with like kind of the very tangible goal that you're looking for. And the learning and the alignment only happens in the pursuit of that. And sometimes it's messy, and sometimes it's frustrating, and sometimes it's challenging. But then you get far enough down the path that you can turn around and it all starts to make sense. And the more you can trust that, and the more you can be in flow with whatever life is presenting you, and you know that it's for your highest good, you naturally start to be able to relax and to breathe and feel the ease that ultimately you're longing for. Because the more and more I work with people around manifestation and dive into, like the deeper meaning under the things that we want. And I love Neville Goddard, he talks about living as a wish fulfilled. People get so hung up on that because, they think, well, how would I know how to live if I'm a millionaire, or, all these things that people kind of tangibly want. But it has nothing to do with that, and everything to do with the level of peace and freedom and ease that we want to experience in our life. So the second you can begin to cultivate that now, right? You can cultivate peace and ease even when it feels like life is throwing a lot at you, because we can let go of trying to control it, let go of the weight we're carrying around, let go of needing to feel like we're responsible for fixing everything, and simply allow life to show us what we need, and trust that it is putting us back onto the exact path we're meant to walk, right? And even as I say that, you're not actually off track. You're here to grow and expand and remember. And so sometimes when it feels like you're off track, you are simply coming back to a place of deeper truth and deeper alignment. So, what can you nurture in yourself in this moment, right? Can you nurture more gentleness? Can you nurture just kind of committing to something without as much fear or worrying? And I know that's a big one. But again, if part of your journey right now is a deeper level of self-trust, a deeper level of connection to the divine within, letting spirit guide you, letting your intuition lead, then it's exactly where you're meant to be. Things are meant to feel noisy and overwhelming and confusing and sometimes just a little chaotic and crazy, so that you come back to that still, peaceful, grounded voice within you that knows the next right thing to do. And it doesn't have to be a grand leap. It doesn't have to be a huge step. It's just like, what is that next small thing? Okay, I hope that this was exactly what you needed to hear, and you can take some time to go within and trust yourself and move forward in a way that feels aligned and true for you. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.